Om Shri Sai Ram. This is a story about Arjun and Shri Krishna and how Arjun fought his own father. So once upon a time there was a king, and there was this king, and he performed a yajna, a sacrifice for 12 years. For 12 long years, all the priests, they continuously offered oblations into the Agni. In the sacrificial fire, they were constantly offering oblations with ghee and with all the other samagri that they were using for the Havan. And because of this continued prolonged yajna, Agni Dev got very sick. He had been feeding ghee for 12 years continuously, and because of this, he got a bit of indigestion. In today's days, you could almost say it was a case of a fatty liver or something, that he really got indigestion with all that ghee, and then he lost his glow. His face became very sickly, and he lost his appetite, and then he started feeling so weak and sick that he didn't really know what to do. And then he was so worried, and then he went and he asked some other devas and some other people what he should do. And then his own guru Brihaspati told him, and some others also told him, that you need to eat some herbs. Some herbs is what you need, some greens. You've had too much ghee. So now you need some greens to digest the ghee. And stay away from this fatty diet. No more ghee for you. Agni said, well, what am I to do? Where am I going to get these herbs? I need them desperately. Otherwise, I'm losing my lustre, I'm losing my glow, I'm losing my strength. And he was told that there is one particular forest, that was Khandalvan. And that the Khandalvan is the one which has all these herbs, which has all these plants, and if Agni consumed them, he would be all right. So Agni said, all right, and he went into that forest and he started to devour the plants. But as soon as he started a fire and he started to eat the plants, Indradev, he arranged that rains should happen. So dark clouds, they fell over this Khandalvan, and there was an immediate shower of rain. And because of that, Agni was vanquished. So now Agni was desperate, tired, weak, and broken. He didn't know what to do. Then he understood from the other devas that it was impossible for him to consume the Khandalvan, because Khandalvan was under Indra's protection, the chief of the gods. Actually, Indra's friend Takshak, who was the king of serpents, he lived in Khandalvan, and Indra had given his promise to Takshak that he would always protect this place and that no harm would ever befall it. And so Agni could not consume it. But without consuming it, Agni would not survive. So he didn't know what to do. Ultimately, he thought of Sri Krishna and Arjun and decided that if anyone can take on Indra, it has to be these two. So Agni went as an old Brahmin to Arjun, and he looked very sickly and pale and like really weak. So Arjun asked him, oh Brahmin, what is wrong with you? Arjun and Sri Krishna, they were taking a walk in the forest. Now Arjun asked him, what's wrong with you? Why do you look so sick? And the Brahmin said, oh, I really need to eat something. I need something from you, Arjun. Can you give me this dakshina? If you give me this dakshina, I can eat. Arjun said, well, of course. I have to give a Brahmin what he asks for. And it's only food you're asking, aren't you? So tell me, what do you want to eat? I'll definitely give you. And the Brahmin said, I want to eat this Khandalvan. Now Arjun was taken aback. Why does he want to eat the Khandalvan? But now he had given his word, and there was nothing he could do. So he said, all right, but tell me, who are you? So then Agni showed him his real form, how emaciated he was, how weak, even though he was the Agni Dev. And he said, my indigestion can be cured only if I consume this Khandalvan. But Indra won't let me consume it, because his friend Takshak lives here. So please help me out, Arjun. You and Sri Krishna can do it. Now Arjun became thoughtful, because Arjun knew very well who Indra was. Indra was the chief of the gods. He was the king of the gods who ruled in Amravati. He was also Arjun's father. It would be a classic case of a son taking up arms against his father. But when a word has been given, the strong and brave do not go back on their word. So Arjun said, well, I have given my word to you, Agni, so I won't go back on it. So I promise you, I will fight tooth and nail and try to protect and give you Khandalvan to consume. Agni was very happy. So Agni started devouring the Khandalvan. And as soon as the news reached Indra that the fire has broken out in the forest of Khandalvan, Indra again he sent his clouds, the thick black dark clouds, which carried so much rain in them, and the rain started falling immediately, and Agni would have been vanquished. But Arjun, he sent up a slew of arrows, so many arrows he sent up, they kind of made an umbrella against the clouds, and not a drop of rain could fall on the forest, while Agni was consuming the forest below. Now, when he heard about this, that Arjun has actually constructed an umbrella of arrows up there in the sky, he got really angry. And so he sent shafts of lightning and thunder, and he also sent, like a, what do you say? Like such a huge gust of wind, such a big gust of wind that could have blown away everything except Arjun's arrows. So the wind and the thunder and the lightning and the rain, they were trying their best, and it was falling everywhere but on Khandalvan. And Arjun's arrow stayed in place, and Sri Krishna also, he was also protecting the Khandalvan. He was there with Arjun, guiding him. And Agni himself had provided the Gandiv Dhanush to Arjun, and he had also provided that all those arrows, the arrows, which could not be exhausted. Now, these were all divine weapons. They had been given by Agni to Arjun. And with the help of these, Arjun, he saved Agni from being vanquished. And Indra ultimately could not conquer. So he came out in battle with all his Gandharvas and all the other gods. And soon Arjun found that he was fighting not just Indra, he was fighting all the Devas. All the gods were fighting on Indra's side. And the Gandharvas and the Yakshas and the Kinnaras, everyone was fighting. And there was Arjun all alone except for Sri Krishna with him. But still, he fought valiantly. After all, he was the son of Indra, and he was the student of Dronacharya, and he was the greatest archer. And the gods found it difficult to intimidate Arjun. And very soon Indra realized that it was very, very difficult to control Arjun. And then he heard Lord Vishnu's voice softly. And Lord Vishnu said, "Give it up, Indra, and go back to Amravati. You cannot win this battle, for I am there with Arjun. You cannot defeat Arjun as long as I am with him." So then Indra understood that this is a battle which had better not be fought. And so he went away. And then he blessed Arjun that I am so pleased with your performance, with your bravery, with your strength, that I myself am going to give you so many divine weapons that we have. These divine weapons are the ones which won't stay with you now, but when you call upon them, when you need them, they will come to you at that point of time when you need them. But Arjun, you have to promise that my friend Takshak should not die in this fire. Arjun said, "I promise you, nothing is going to happen to Takshak." Takshak, anyways, had not been there in the forest at that time. He had been away at some other place, but his family were, and they all were saved. And apart from them, there were 5 little birds also. The 5 little Sharang birds, them and their mother bird, they were also there. They were also saved. They also escaped the fire. And all these people escaped, and apart from that, Agni consumed the Khandalvan delightedly. And then he felt so much better once he had consumed the entire forest. And they say that after Agni consumed the entire forest, and there was one other person who escaped, apart from Takshak and the 5 Sharang birds, there was May. May was a Danav. May Danav was an architect. And since his life was also saved by Sri Krishna and Arjun, he asked them what he could do for them in turn. So then Sri Krishna said, "May, I think you are very happy that your life was saved. Arjun was gracious enough to protect you. So now I suggest what you should do is that now this entire forest has been cleared. The Pandavas are going to build a huge city here. They will build their new capital in this place. And you should build Yudhishthir's palace. You are the divine architect who built the palace of Ravan in Lanka. And you are the one capable of creating such a marvel in this yoga that people will, be wonderstruck when they look at it. Create that kind of a palace for Yudhishthir. That is what we want." So Mayadanav accepted that gladly, and once everything had been cleared and the capital city was being built, Mayadanav built the most beautiful palace of illusions for Yudhishthir. It was such a palace of illusions that when you walked on the floor, you would see mirages. Somewhere you would see water, but when you went there, there would be no water. There would be solid floor. Somewhere else, you might see the sky, but when you looked up, there was no sky. There was a ceiling. So that was the kind of palace of illusions he constructed for Yudhishthir. And of course, the Kauravas, they became very jealous when they saw that palace and they couldn't bear. How can the Pandavas be so happy in this magnificent palace? But that was what it was, and the Pandavas enjoyed the palace thoroughly. So I hope you like the story about how Arjun fought his own father against. He fought his father because he had given his word to Agni. So, sign out.